Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our end of day trading session for this evening. Okay, so it's Wednesday, obviously, at 7 p.m. Cape Town. Very, very hot day today. Um, we're in the middle of summer and that kind of thing. But okay, let's get cracking. Obviously, the sun is still shining on this side. Don't know about up north and that kind of thing. Anyway, guys, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking through the Ichimoku again. Okay. Remember, this is the one we're sticking with. I'm actually going to be running an account very soon. I should probably just be getting going with it, from tomorrow onwards. Um, Main thing is that I just need to kind of get my time set correctly and that kind of thing. But I've done that basically now, got everything sorted so I can run with that fully now. Okay. To get you guys up to date and up to wraps with exactly what's happening and that kind of thing. Okay, let's run through everything again. All right. 5 lines, sinker span A, sinker span B. That forms what we call the cloud. Okay, now with the cloud basically itself, remember the green line is the sinker span A, the red line is the sinker span B. Sinker span A is the leading one. So when sinker span A is above B, bullish. When it's below sinker span B, it's bearish. Okay, and then all we look at is where is price situated to the cloud itself. So over here, where's price? If we look straight down, it's above the cloud. Over here, price is in the cloud. Over here, it's below the cloud, below the cloud, below the cloud, in the cloud, passing through, above the cloud, in the cloud, and so forth. Okay. We've basically then got also the Tenkan-sen and Kujin-sen lines. Okay. And then lastly, the fifth line is the Chiku span. Chiku span basically is price. Okay, so we've cleared that up, gone through the lines. Okay, make sure you learn them properly. Okay, it'll only make it a lot easier for you guys if you actually want to follow through and master this indicator. But it's an awesome little indicator, purely for the fact that this is one of the few indicators that you can use completely on its own. Okay, to identify consolidation, to identify support and resistance, to identify 5 different types of entry signals, okay, and to help you basically to manage stops and those type of things with. So it's almost like a one size fits all type of indicator. It's one of those few that you can completely use on its own. There's not a lot of them out there. Okay, so this is definitely a good one to try and learn and master. Um, I always say if you can master this one, then you can master any indicator. Okay, it took me a while to get this one, but that's big reason is because it's mainly on a long-term account. So you'd be trading daily charts and those type of things, and with that, it's going to take quite a while for the trades to set up and so forth. Now, let's compare to what happened last week. Okay, last week we basically got the breakthrough signal here. Okay, and we had entry that we should have taken upon confirmation. It did confirm. Okay, so here's the thing. Those of you who did join in that kind of thing should be in this trade. Okay. Now, Matimba, I see you're on. You were on last week as well. I just want to check with you. Are you in the Euro US trade for the Ichimoku at this point? You can just type in the chat and let me know. Perfect, great stuff. Okay, so let's look at where your stop is supposed to be situated. Okay, let me see if I can help you with that. Okay, right, remember we go with the normal entry, okay, of stop is placed at the most recent high or low within 7 candles. Therefore, this was our entry candle. Okay, so I'm just going to make a note of exactly where the entry candle is. That's the entry candle we entered on. Okay, now we count back from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And from here to where we entered, which is the lowest point, that's that red candle over there. So technically our stop should be situated right over there. Okay, so Matimba, is that where you have got your stop? That level right there. It's where you should have it. Perfect. Great stuff, man. I'm proud of you. Okay. Let me show you the ratcheting trick. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, that kind of thing, but I want you guys to kind of see how we go about ratcheting this specific method, basically. Okay. Now, what I tend to do is I use the Kujin-sen, the blue line, as my ratcheting tool, I would say, giving me the levels on where I need to move my stop towards to. Okay. So watch what's happening at this point in time. Okay. We've got a flat section forming here. Right? Now this flat section will only be confirmed once it starts moving into another direction again, either up or down. So then it's a finished flat section. Now what we're looking for in order to ratchet the stop with is we're looking to ratchet it to 3 flat sections back, and that's completed flat sections. Okay, so once this one starts moving up or starts moving down, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, and you would ratchet and move your stop from there until there. Once this continues and forms another flat section, you'd count again once that moves again. 1, 2, 3, and you'd move your stop to there. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, let me know if you want me to explain it a little bit more. Okay, but it's just making sure that we've always got our stop loss set back to at least 3 flat spaces of the Kujin-sen. Okay, so wait for that flat section to finish forming, and once it's finished forming, you can ratchet your stop up to that level, that flat section of the Kujin-sen right over there. Okay, and that should be it. You just keep on doing that. Okay, so as long as price continues going up, you're going to make money. Okay, so this is the big reason why we do not use targets within the Ichimoku. Okay, we're allowing ourselves to basically ride the full extent of the trend. And the beautiful thing is that if price continues moving, we're just going to make more money. And it will have its pullbacks, it will have its little drawbacks and that kind of thing. And what we do with that then, okay, is we take additional entries to actually help us to add onto that position. And therefore, we're actually strengthening that trade that we took originally. So you'll notice we're going to get into new trends, okay, with going in with either Chiku span breaks or with Kumo cloud breaks or future Kumo crosses, okay. And with that then, that's how we initiate the trade. Then we're going to start adding to the positions by looking at things like Tenkan and Kujin-sen crosses. Okay, there we could also look at Kujin breaks, so price breaking Kujin when it pulls back and so forth. It's going to give us a lot that we can kind of use and run with. Okay, right. Okay, sorry about that. Back again. Okay, let's have a check now at some of the other charts at this point in time. Okay, if we're looking at this is still moving good. It's moving nicely. Okay, like I said, some of you should be in this trade already. Okay, now what I'm liking so far is that, okay, we've got the flat sections forming, but everything is situated at the right side, okay, of the, let's just get that, there we go, look there, we've got nice open space in front of the Chiku. We've got the cloud itself pointing upwards. It is flattening out slightly now, but that's okay, it's normal. Okay, but overall the future Kumo is bullish. It's having a slight upwards point there. We've got the Tenkan and Kujin in bullish area. Everything is set up perfectly at this point in time. We just need to manage this trade as it goes along, and that's it. Okay, let's look at the next one. Next one is the pound US dollar. Now with this one, okay, remember that I said we were waiting for something a little bit more solid in terms of a signal. Okay. And what I said, we're most likely going to get a Kujin break, in other words, price breaking Kujin, or we're going to get a Tenkan Kujin Sen cross, okay, into the downwards direction. Now, ultimately, we're wanting to go to the downwards direction because this is situated on the bearish side of the cloud, okay. This could still break all the way up, okay, but let's assess and look at what's happening. So far, we've had price kind of pull back, started to come down, okay, and we've got a Tenkan Kujin Sen cross. But what type of signal is that Tenkan and Kujin Sen cross? Is that a buy signal or a sell signal? What do you say, Matimba? A buy or a sell signal? No. That one is actually a buy signal. Okay. Good guess there, right? It's situated at the bottom, but the way in which the Tenkan and Kujin Sen is crossing, okay, it's actually a buy signal. Why is that? The Tenkan Sen is the faster moving line between the two, the Tenkan and the Kujin. So the Kujin is a slower one, okay? Now here's a little trick. The faster moving one will always be the leading indication of which direction it's going to go. So if I get the Tenkan going from below to above the Kujin, that's a buy. If it goes from above to below, then it's a sell. Okay, it's like taking two moving averages. I'm going to show you quickly. Okay, let me add. There's moving average. Okay, 20. That's going to be fun. Let's make this color red. There we go. Okay, let's make this a little bit larger. Let's make that 50 rather, so it'll be a bit easier to see. 50, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a larger one. Okay, watch this. So I'm going to change 50 to 80, and I'm going to make this one, let's make it green. Okay. Now we all agree this section here of the chart is bearish, right? Because it's heading down, correct? Okay. Now look at the order of the lines, okay, of the moving averages in that. You see how the 50 is below the 80? Okay, it's because the 50 is the faster moving one. If price starts going up, it's going to change direction, and therefore the 50 is going to start going above the 100. Now, what if I change the 100 to 20? Which one's going to be the leading one then? So let's go and take the 100. No, sorry, let's take the 80. That's what I mean. And we change that to 20. Now let's make it 30. There we go, 30. I've got a 30 and 50. Do you see how the 30 is now closer to price as it's going down? Okay. When it's going up, look how the 30 is above it then. You see the difference I mean by the faster indicator? And what I mean by the faster indicator, it's the one using the lesser amount of candles. The Tenkan Sen uses 9 candles to work out its average, whereas the Kujin Sen uses 26. Okay, and because of that difference, the Tenkan is the faster one. That's why you see the Tenkan moving so close towards price the entire time, and you see the Kujin is much slower. So the Tenkan is going to react to price change quicker than the Kujin. So the Tenkan is the leading indicator as to which direction price is heading in. Okay, so this is technically a buy signal situated in a bearish trend. Therefore, is this a strong buy or a weak buy signal? What would you say, Matimba? Definitely, exactly. It's a weak buy signal. So what are we going to do? We're just going to ignore this. We're not going to touch it, not even with a 10-foot pole. Okay? It's going to be a waste of time and money and everything. So what we're actually looking for here is we're either looking for the trend to change to bullish and then going for the buys, or we're waiting for another sell setup to occur. Now, there's one little issue that I've got with this though, at this point in time. Okay, let me show you. Boom, boom. It's that we've got the Chiku heading into price. Okay. Now we could get the Chiku breaking price upwards, which could start turning this into a bullish move. But it could get into the cloud, then consolidate and turn and take us out. Okay. So that would be another weak buy signal because it's situated below the cloud. Okay. So ultimately, we'd want this to move probably a little bit sideways or come down and break free, okay, of price to the down. That's going to be a very good sell signal. Or we wait a little bit longer for price to close from above to below the Kujin itself. Or we could wait for the Tenkan and Kujin Sen to cross again, but now giving a sell signal. Okay, that's going to be another entry into this chart then. Okay, so those are the three options we're waiting for. Personally, I think we could probably have the Kujin break happening first, then we could get the Tenkan Kujin Sen cross happening, and then lastly we'd probably get the Chiku span breaking price. So if you're unsure about any of those happening, they're going to happen very quickly in terms of one another. So you could choose any of those three as your entry position. Okay. This is what I mean by getting into knowing the system so well that you kind of have an idea of what the most likely entry types are going to be, because you can then better plan for more appropriate entry instead of just jumping for every single one that goes. Okay, that's the key. We want to filter it out to find the best possible chance of entering the system. Okay, so there's always going to be this thing where you're going to get one or two or three things happening in close concession with one another, and it's one of those three that we can choose. Okay, or two, depending on how it runs. But yeah, this one is probably going to take another couple of days. We might only see something happening next week. Okay. Is there any questions on this chart at this point in time? Okay, all good then. Great stuff, Matimba. Thanks. Okay. How's it, Cello? Good to see you joining us. Okay. Cello, just want to ask you as well. I take it you're in the Euro US dollar trade, right? You should be in on that one because it basically confirmed, you know. If you are, great stuff. If not, one of those things. Okay, not a problem then. Not a problem. Okay. If you can, I'd like you to actually try and follow in taking the trades for this, because it's going to be a great way to learn this system. Okay. And it's going to give you something that you can already start trading with once you've mastered this. Okay. Because this is one of the few things you don't need to backtest, basically. It's just getting into the understanding of how to identify the proper buy or sell signals. Okay. Right. Let's get to the next one then. Here we are at the US franc. Now with this one, okay, when we looked at it a little while ago, a week ago basically, this was heading down and it looked like we could probably get a bounce coming up, or we could get a break up into the bottom. We weren't sure. But this one actually gave a signal and it confirmed for what? A buy or sell? Let's see. What do you guys say? That's it, Silo. Exactly. Well done, Matimba. Well done, guys. Exactly, it's a sell. Now, where was the signal given? The signal was confirmed by the Kumo break over there. In other words, we got in, we entered on the next candle. That's if you went for the Kumo break. But what other break could we have gone for? We could have gone for right over there. Let me just mark that out for you guys. We could have gone Come now, there we go. Right over there. See that? Future Kumo cross. That would have happened right about the same time. Okay. We probably only would have gotten in the next candle then. But the other one you could have waited for was Chiku breaking price and getting below the cloud. Okay, so that's another one we could have looked at. But the more prominent ones was that one and that one over there. Nice thing is we've got nice clear open space, so this should be a good sell that you guys are taking at this point in time. Okay, so that one's looking good at this point in time. Um, we just have to wait for that one to run and see if there's anything else. Okay, so those were the charts that I knew that had something up very, very soon. Next one. Let's look at that and see if we're getting anything here. Remember, guys, if there's any questions, by all means, jump in, let me know, and we'll handle it. Now, this one, okay, also gave a signal. What type of signal? Again, buy or sell. Okay, now I see what you're. Okay, I see what you guys are saying here. Okay, Matimba's saying it's a weak buy. I know which one you're referring to. I'll show you now. You just tell me if I'm correct. Okay, you're referring to that signal over there. Is it? Okay, perfect. That is the Tenkan-Kujinsen cross. Okay, that is correct. And it's exactly what Selo said as well. Okay, um, the difference here is, check here. There's two signals that were given at that point in particular. Now, Selo, you could be meaning this, that one right there, the second one. Okay, just let me know if it's the first or the second that you meant, Selo. Okay, perfect. Great. Now, here's the thing. This is the most recent signal. Okay, so it's a sell signal. Yes, that was a weak buy signal. Well spotted, Matimba, but that has already happened. Okay, and remember, it's a weak buy, so we don't take it. Then it started turning, and now it's given the Kujin break. Okay, so well spotted on the Tenkan Kujin Sen cross. The signal that came after that was the price breaking Kujin. In other words, a Kujin break. Okay, so price broke the Kujin from above to below. So technically, we should be in round about this candle. Okay, with our stop set at the top here. And this one is making money. It's making beautiful money. Look how price is running down. Clear open space in front of the Chiku span as well. Everything's looking beautiful. Okay. Look how nicely the Tenkan and Kujin is pointing down at this point in time. And the future Kumo is pointing down sharply as well. This is a nice strong trade. Okay, this one's going beautifully. Any of you who's already in this one, well done. You know, enjoy it. Okay. Um, Now, there is another signal that could pop up. So if some of you did not get into this trade, what's the next signal that's most likely going to pop up? Have a close look. It's probably going to confirm very, very soon. Okay, which one? Which signal do you think it is? Is it a future Kumo cross? Is it Chiku breaking price? Or sorry, is it price? Yeah, Chiku breaking price. Is it a Kujin break? Is it a Tenkan Kujin Sen cross? Any of those five signals? Which is it? Which one is the one you're thinking is most likely going to happen soonest now? Have a close look. Because all I'm wanting to do at this point in time, guys, is I'm wanting to have you understand the analysis and approach of this, all in all, more deeply. Okay. Right. So Seller's telling us it is the Tenkan Gujin cross. Perfect. Well done. That's exactly it. Okay. Let me show you what I mean. Right. So this part here, we've got the Tenkan above the Kujin, and it's moving now with the Kujin. So they're busy crossing. They haven't crossed yet. So we should probably see maybe tomorrow that they're crossing one another. Okay. And then that would be an entry signal for sell. Okay. And everything is lined up perfectly for that as a sell signal. Okay. Right. So well spotted, seller. Well done, man. Happy with that. Okay. Next chart. What we're looking at here, right? Now we are looking at the US CAD. In other words, the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay. And with this, okay, what's happening? Firstly, is the chart bullish or bearish? What do you guys say? Let me zoom in slightly. Okay, I know it might be a little bit difficult seeing it like this. Okay, that should be a bit easier to spot it now. There we go. Well done, guys. That's exactly it. It's bullish. It's above the cloud. Well done. Now, what are some of the issues that we could have now, or could be coming up? What do you guys think could be happening now? Let's say about we give it another 4 days, maybe 5 days. Okay, Matimba's saying consolidation. Okay, good answer. Very good answer. Now, Matimba, I want to find out from you. Why do you think it's going to be consolidation? What's tipping you off to that? There should be two things possibly giving you that idea. I want to know which one you're most likely spotting. Okay, okay. See what you're saying. Right. So both lines, Tenkan and Kujin-sen, correct, are pointing in the same direction and towards the cloud itself. I can understand how you can see that from that. Yes. Okay. Not a bad way of looking at it. Let me show you the other insights about it. Okay. So we've got the cross, which is a weak sell which happened, and it is moving towards the cloud. And yes, the direction of the Tenkan and Kujin lines are giving us an idea that it's most likely going to happen. And not only that, it's virtually kind of on the edge of the cloud. So chances of it moving into the cloud is good. But another signal that is actually screaming that it's going to consolidate now. Let's check here. It's the Chiku. The Chiku is where? It's inside price. Whenever the Chiku heads into price, we're going to find that it's going to consolidate. Okay, Chiku's heading into price, and what's happening? We're most likely going to get this heading into the cloud. We could get a bouncing back later, or we could get a trend change. Okay, but so far, all in all, the Chiku is giving away, as well as the Tenkan and Kujinsen lines and where it's situated, that we're most likely going to see a bit of consolidation happening. Okay, well done, Matimba. Good on that. Okay, you guys are doing brilliantly. I love how you guys are sharpening up with your analysis. Okay, next chart. So, okay, basically, just to let you guys know, we've seen that this is consolidating. What does this mean? There's nothing up at this point in time. There could be something coming up, And if you're looking closely, check there. There's a future Kumo cross that could most likely happen. But the problem is when that's going to happen, what are we going to see? Price is in the cloud. So it's most likely not going to be the best one. We're going to have to wait a little while to exactly see what's going to happen. Is this going to continue going up? Is it going to turn and go down? Or is it just going to faff sideways for a little while? So this is going to take some time before we really know what we need to do. Okay, right, next chart. Euro, yen. Now, what's this one doing? Is it bullish? Is it bearish? You tell me. I'm going to zoom in slightly to give a bit of a bigger picture so it's easy to see. Spot on, guys. Spot on. Bearish. Well done. Okay. So, do we have an entry here? Yes or no, or are we waiting still a little while? Good answers, guys. Good answers. Okay, Cello, your answer's perfect. Okay, we're getting the signal. Yes, that's right. We're getting a Kujin break happening. Okay, and it's a break from above to below. So it's a sell signal. Okay, so that is a signal that's coming up. Right? It's not yet confirmed, so we have to wait for that confirmation. So well done on that, Cello. You mentioned that one spot on. Okay, and Matimba, you're perfectly correct as well, because we're going to have to wait for that confirmation. Now, it might be that you missed that Kujin break signal, okay, and that could be the reason why I wanted to wait. Otherwise, what's the other reason you've got that's keeping you from taking the trade? What's giving you reservation in terms of taking a trade? I just want to see your guys' analysis in terms of this. So far, everything's looking beautiful, but I want to open you up into seeing exactly, what's happening and how we're supposed to analyze this. Okay, so Matimba, what told you to kind of just wait a little bit longer? What's keeping you from entering that maybe tomorrow? Okay, so you're saying the red line is still going towards the break point. Okay. Um, okay, so the breakpoint, which is basically you're referring most likely to the cloud, that section over there, correct? Okay, cool. So that's what we call the cloud then. Okay. Yes, I could see that, and that is a good concern. Okay, but look at the way the line is pointing. You see, it's pointing down. Okay, so that's still giving me kind of or having me feel safe about that trade. There is something else that is kind of having me maybe have second thoughts about this. Okay, let me show you guys. This is what I hoped you guys would spot or see. Look at where the Kujin, I'm just going to turn this into a line chart. Look at where the Chiku span is. It's in price. It's in price. What does that mean? We're most likely going to get a bit of consolidation, right? So what would I prefer to see before I actually take the entry of this Kujin break? I would prefer to see the Chiku breaking price so that it's clear and open from price. And therefore, it's got room to move in. So once it breaks below that, that's when I'm going to get in. So I'm probably going to wait rather for number one, Chiku breaking price, or number two, the Tenkan crossing the Kujin for a sell signal. One of those two is going to give me enough time to let me know, okay, that the chick is moving into open space. And that means that there's going to be most likely some good momentum behind the move. Okay, right. So I hope that cleared up, a couple of the stuff in that sense. Okay. So, um, well spotted, guys. You're doing very well with your development in terms of understanding this indicator. Really, it's I'm really proud with how you guys are performing. Okay, just keep it up. The more you play around with this, the better you're gonna get. The key is understanding. Firstly, just try and master the names of the lines. Once you master them, then it's just learning the signals, and then it's going to be a lot easier to keep up with the session in that sense. Okay, and remember, you can go over the sessions, as many times as you'd like to. Okay, we have now basically just set them so that the live trading sessions are available for replay right till the end of the weekend. Okay, so only once we send out on Monday the new invites, it won't be there anymore. Okay, because obviously the new session is going to take over from there and the countdown starts. Okay. But all in all, this one is setting up a sell signal for very, very soon. Okay. Um, those of you who've got a bit of balls can take the confirmation trade tomorrow. Okay, if it does confirm for the Kujin break. But like I said, I'd rather just wait for the Chiku to break price as well. Okay, and remember, Chiku breaking price is a signal. Okay, so that would be the other entry. But at least I know the Chiku's in clear open space. So this has got some nice room to breathe and move in. Okay. So you see what I mean by, that we could still have a little bit of issues because this is in a section where it's consolidating. If it breaks further, I'll be a lot more happy with this. Okay. So I'm kind of assessing with these signals. They're very close on top of one another. But I'm looking at as how they can pan out, and if they do, which of those is probably going to be a better one to go for. And that lets me know whether I'd rather wait a little bit longer for a more appropriate signal. See what I'm saying? I'm not just jumping in blindly into every signal that comes in. Okay? It's like I'm filtering the crap from the good. Okay? And I'm wanting to stick with the good trades. And that's the basic process with it. Okay, so once you master that, you're going to notice your Ichimoku trading is going to be a lot better. Okay, let's have a look at the next chart then. Here we have got the Euro franc. Okay, now with the Euro franc, what's this? Bullish, bearish? There we go, guys. It's bullish. Well done. Okay, now what do you think is most likely going to happen? Okay. Okay, we're getting some good answers here. I like this. Okay, so Matimba's saying we're going to get most likely a consolidation within a few days. Okay, and yes, okay, we can see that we look at what's happening. Okay, very, very good answer there. Okay, Chico is heading into price. Therefore, we're most likely going to get a bit of consolidation happening. Okay, and then Selo mentioned that we're basically going to have the Kujin break happening to the up. Okay, exactly. So if this turns and goes back up, we're going to have a buy signal forming. Okay, and that's a clear buy signal then. Price is on the right side of the cloud. Cloud itself is, future cloud is bullish as well. Okay, we'll just need to look at maybe where the Tenkan and Kujin is pointing, and then more importantly, where the Chiku span is situated. Okay, if we're going to get this happening with the Chiku in price, I'd probably just wait a little while till I get the Chiku clearing price again. Remember, we want to make sure that there's enough space in front of the Chiku when we want to take the trades, because we're looking for the movers. And check here, normally when the Chiku is free from price, look at it move. Okay. Check what happens when it moves into price. It consolidates. When it breaks free from price, it starts moving. Okay. So that's basically the little, how to say, golden tidbits that we're trying to find to make sure that we're getting into the appropriate trade. So this one's definitely going to give an entry. I could give an entry in a couple of days, but we could get consolidation happening as well. So that entry is a bit iffy for me, if you see what I'm saying. And it's only because of this Chiku span heading into price. Okay, so we'll just keep an eye on this for a couple of days, and it might give us a clearer picture as to what is exactly happening then. Okay, right. Good analysis on that one, guys. Next one, we have got the Euro Pound. Bullish or bearish? There we go, bullish. You guys have got the bullish and bearish of this system down. Well done, man. Okay, exactly. Right. Now, remember how I told you guys a while ago that, some of these signals tend to be a hit and miss. Some of them, that they can be runners. This is one of them. Okay. Um, this one had basically the cloud break over here. If you did not take the cloud break, then you never would have been in this trade. Can you see that this actually never, ever gave another entry signal for buy or sell after the cloud break? And look how far that thing's moved. Okay, I mean, this trade would be at least what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would say we're looking at, yeah, easily 7-8% profit that you would have had with this trade already. Okay, if you took the cloud break. But sometimes, and that's the difficult thing, the cloud breaks are the most difficult ones, the Kuma breaks, okay? Because most of the time their signals are very iffy. Because the cloud break, you still get the Tenkan and Kujin on the wrong side of the cloud or on the inside. And then the Chico, okay, luckily there it was above price, so that was okay. But all in all, the Chiku wasn't, or sorry, the Tenkan and Kujin wasn't situated at the right point. Now you could have waited for the future Kuma to cross as well. So that could have been your final confirmation and then getting in. But once you're in, or once you missed those two signals, there's nothing else you could have done. Remember we said, a week ago that we might get a signal with a Kujin break happening here? Unfortunately, it actually used the Kujin as a support level and bounced off of it. It didn't break it. That's why I like using the Kujin as a stop loss level. Okay, 3 flat sections back, remember that. Okay, always enter the trade with the original entry stop placement, and then we ratchet it according to 3 flat sections back as the trade progresses. No targets being put in whatsoever. Okay, so with this one, it's a beautiful trade. It's still running strongly. Everything is pointing up. It's pointing in the right direction. I mean, the Chiku is also just, it's running at an angle. Look how the cloud is pointing upwards. This is a strong trending chart. Those of you who are in it, well done. You're making some nice bucks off of that one. Okay. Those of you who aren't, it's one of those things. It's either hit or miss. Like I said, if you're afraid of taking those cloud breaks, and instead of taking a full percent risk, you could look at taking 0.5% risk. Okay, at least then when they don't go your way, you're not losing a full percentage, right? But you're taking advantage of the big runners when they do come up. That's up to you with what you feel comfortable with. Okay, right. So nothing really up for this one. It's going to take a while before this gives any other signal. Okay. Next one, pound franc. Let's hear it. What are you guys saying? Bullish, bearish signals, yes or no? If there is, what type of signal? bearish. Both you guys are right. Well done. Anything else you can spot? Beautiful, Celo. Exactly. Tenkan and Kujin Sen cross. Okay, it's the most recent one, just above the actual candle here. Now, Matimba, I see what you were seeing as well. You're looking at that one right over there. Okay, that's already happened. Okay, we're always looking at the most recent signal, right? That was a weak buy, that's right. But check here, the Tenkan went from above the Kujin to below. Has this confirmed? Yes or no? Okay, Celo's saying no. What do you think, Matimba? Yes. Okay. The answer is yes. Okay. That point, let me show you what I mean and why. It tends to be easy to spot this with using the crosshair. This is the current candle. Okay, look at how I'm moving the crosshair so that it runs with the vertical line straight through the middle of the current candle. Okay, and look at where the Tenkan is. Now remember, it's always the previous candle that needs to be the confirmation if we're going to take an entry. So look at what happens when I move this to the previous candle. I'm moving it to the center of the previous candle, and where's the Tenkan compared to the Kujin? I'm actually going to zoom in slightly to make this easier. You see how the previous candle actually confirmed it to go lower? Okay, so the confirmation has happened. So we can take this trade. That's the awesome thing. This is a trade that we can take. Now, all in all, the confirmation has happened. It's taken at Kujin cross. It's a sell signal. It's a strong sell signal as well because it's below the cloud. Let's assess the rest of the cloud the way we need to make sure if we can actually take this trade. Okay. What I'm going to do first is let me just quickly get the screen share set nicely. Okay, it might look a little bit odd for a minute. There we go. That's it. Okay. Right. Now to run with the analysis, okay? What are the other things we need to look at? Let's hear it. Okay, I'm just looking there for the answers, guys. I'm just sharing the entire screen, that's why I'm seeing that now. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so no one's saying anything yet. Okay, let me show you then. First thing we need to look at is taken in Kujin order. They're in the right order. They're pointing down. Secondly, future Kumo is bearish. What I like seeing is check here. The future Kumo is pointing down as well. That looks very good for a sell signal. What's the big thing we need to be aware of? Check there. See how it's clear from price? This is one that I'll definitely take. Okay, so this trade, let's run with it. Let's take it. Okay, let's go and grab our new order. Okay, this one we're going to take a sell signal on. Right, we're going to need to enter our volume. Now, obviously, we're going to need to get the calculator out, so let's quickly do it. Now, here's the thing. You can take your time with this because, I mean, freaking heck, it's the end of day charts. So there's not going to be any big real difference in terms of, getting in a few minutes late here or there. Okay, so we take our 1%. and we divide it by our stop to entry distance. Okay, so to get our stop to entry distance, we go to the crosshair. Can I remember? That's the entry candle we count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Therefore, our highest point is right over there. So I'm going to go from entry to where I'm going to place the stop. That's 6130. 6130. That's my stop to entry. And I've got my volume. So my volume is going to be 0.06. And I'm going to sell. There I am in. Okay. Now that I'm in, I need to set my stop. There it is. Now I'll only modify this once I start getting another flat section forming and going into intended direction. So then I'll count 1, 2, 3, and I'm most likely going to ratchet it to that level over there. Okay, but I need to wait for the flat section to form and then it continuing into a direction so that it's confirmed as a flat section. Okay, so that's an entry taken on the pound franc. Okay, every signal is looking great on this one. Okay, beautiful entry signal that's come up. Everything's pointing beautifully as well. So that should be an awesome trade for you guys to get into at this point in time. Okay, right. Let me just quickly get the sharing back to normal. There we go. Okay, perfect. Right. Now. Okay. Next chart. Pound, yen. What are we seeing with this one? Bullish or bearish? Okay, so seller's saying bearish. That's right. Okay, and that's it. It's situated at the bottom of the cloud. Okay, below it. Now, what is... Let's have a look here. Okay. This one's bearish. Okay. Is it giving any signals at this point in time? If so, what? Let's see if you guys can spot the signal. Okay. Okay, seller's saying there's a weak buy signal. Okay. What type of signal? I'm just zooming in so that we've got a bit of a clearer picture. Okay, so that all of you can see it much clearer now. Which signal are we looking at exactly? Is it a Kuma break, Chiku break, Kujin break, Tenkan Kujin cross, future Kumo cross? Which one? Remember, there's 5. That's a Tenkan Kujin cross. Well done, my man. Well done. Okay. So, yes, we're getting a weak buy signal. So, technically, there's nothing really happening here. We're going to have to wait a little while for proper signal to come up. The best signal that could probably come up is the Tenkan Kujin Sen cross, just going in the right direction, giving the strong sell signal. So that's something you guys could look out for. Okay. So if this heads a little bit lower, I'm going to be a lot more happier because this is also going to force the Chiku a little bit further away from price, which is going to make it oh so much sweeter in terms of entering this trade. Okay, because then I know the Chiku is a nice clear open space. Remember, that's the entry we could have taken last week as well. Okay, so you should be in that one. So you would have had the original cloud break. You would have had the second entry over here. You would have still been, so you would be in 2 trades. And now you're going to add the third position, most likely, if it's going to be a Tenkan Kujin cross to the bottom. Okay, and I mean, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trend with this one so far. Okay, nice money to be made on this one as well. Okay, next chart. Got 5 minutes left for the session. Okay, and we've only got 4 charts left. Okay, so let's run. Okay, this one isn't showing anything. Let's just zoom in slightly. Okay, this is the New Zealand US dollar. What's happening here? This one looks a bit messy, doesn't it? Okay, this one, we've got the price moving into the cloud. So what is that telling us? Consolidation. Okay. Also, we are seeing that the Tenkan has crossed the Kujan upwards, but from a bearish point. So it's a weak buy signal. We're also seeing that the future Kumo is bearish, but look at what's happening. It's starting to tighten up now. So we could get a cross. So we could get a trend change happening here. Okay. So I'd probably just give this maybe another week, and then we'd have a much better idea of what's going to happen with this one. Okay. At this point in time, there's nothing strong really showing. Okay. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. With this one, what are we seeing? Is there an opportunity to enter this one? Which direction is this one? This one is bearish. Okay. Price is situated below the cloud. Future Kumo is bearish as well. Okay. Well done, Celo. Well done. Yes, it's consolidating. Nice, Matimba. Exactly. Okay. You guys are, you're getting good with this. I love it, man. Okay. Why is that? It's because we've got the Chiku in price. And that's the thing that's most likely showing that to you guys. Okay. So, if we're going to get a signal with this one, the best signal I would say that we're going to be waiting for is actually Chiku breaking clear from price. Okay. We could get the Tenkan Kujin cross, but we want it happening below the cloud, not inside the cloud. Otherwise, I think really the better signal to wait for is going to be the Chiku breaking price downwards. Okay. But we're going to have to wait a little while to see if that's going to transpire. Okay. So give it a couple of days, maybe a week, week and a half, and we should, have a much better idea of what we need to do with that one. Okay. Well spotted, guys. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Okay, we're looking at the Aussie US dollar. Okay. Now, here we've got a weak buy signal that has been given. Okay. So obviously we're not going to take that as a buy. Not only that, we're getting the Chiku running into price. Now it could break price, which means we could probably see that we're getting a trend change happening soon. Because we could get a Kumo break as well. But this could go down again. But if it goes down, we're going to see a bit more consolidation happening. So this could move into the cloud. Therefore, this one, it's not really going to give anything new at this point. I mean, even if this breaks down and gives us a Kujin break as an entry signal for sell, I wouldn't be that happy with it, purely for the fact that I'm going to have the Chiku inside of price. So then I'd rather wait for the Chiku to break price before I take it. Otherwise, we're most likely going to get a trend change happening. Okay, it's the only thing I can really see with this. So with this one, it's also going to take a slight bit of time. Nothing is really situated at the perfect point to, kind of take full advantage out of this. Okay, right. Now, this one, what are we seeing happening? This one I'm going to leave up to you guys now. Firstly, is it bullish or bearish? It's the last chart. Bullish or bearish? What do you guys say? Well done. Exactly, guys. Exactly. Well done, Matimba. Weak buy. Definitely. Okay. What else are we seeing? That's it. Okay. Well, you guys are spotting everything here. Well done. Okay. So Matimba's saying that we've got Chiku approaching price. Yes, we have. Okay, look there. That's approaching price, so we could get maybe a bit of consolidation happening. Okay. Well spotted. So then seller's saying we're getting a Kujin break. Yes, we are. Look at that. From above to below the Kujin. It's situated below the cloud as well, so which means this is a strong sell signal. The question is, where's the Tenkan compared to the Kujin? Okay. Are they pointing in the right direction? Future Kumo, is it bearish? Yes, it is. Is it pointing in the right direction? Yes, it is. Okay. The only thing that's still bothering with that signal, though, is the fact that Chiku is kind of heading into price. So let's have a look at this tomorrow to see if it did confirm and see if price maybe pushed the Chiku a little bit further down and clear from price. If it did, then it's going to be a beautiful sell entry to take. If not, and it heads maybe a little bit more sideways into price, I'd rather wait for either the Tenkan Kujin Sen cross for a sell signal, or I would wait for the Chiku to break price down. Okay, and that's it. That's it for the end of today's session, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's session. We did a lot more interaction in terms of getting you guys telling us exactly what's happening, that kind of thing. So and it's definitely only because you guys were on last week as well, which makes it so much easier for you to kind of follow and spot exactly what's happening, that kind of thing. By all means, guys, try and practice this on a demo account on your own, okay? And we'll just keep an eye on to exactly what's happening, as the charts go and that kind of thing, running through what has happened and so forth, as we did today. But you guys did beautifully. Okay, I'm really proud of the way that you guys have kind of stepped up and have learned your signals and that kind of thing. And you guys are catching on very, very nicely now. You're starting to see the intuition almost into the analysis. Okay, and that's what I want happening. So, guys, well done for a great session. You did me proud. I just want to find out from you guys at this point in time, are there any other questions that you guys have got before we finish off? Okay, great stuff, guys. Great stuff. That's it then. Guys, thanks for joining me. Matimba, that's exactly it. Just try and learn those names, okay? Once you got the names down, then just learn the 5 different entry signals. It's going to make a lot more sense once we ran through them. You know the Tenkan and Kujin sent cross quite well now, so well done on that. But I could see you're still missing things like the Kujin breaks, okay? So just check on those. Beautiful thing is you guys started spotting, the Chiku heading into price and those type of things, okay? So really well done tonight. Guys, that's it for then, for this evening. Okay. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and then I will see you guys again next week. Okay, for the session again. I'll be sending out the invites on Monday then. But otherwise, guys, enjoy the rest of the week. And if there's any other issues, just pop me an email or give me a call. Okay. Cheers, guys.